Okay, let's dive in. Have you ever found yourself in that really familiar spot?
Which one are you thinking of?
You've spent hours, maybe a whole afternoon, really digging into something dense. Could be an industry report, maybe a tricky programming manual.
Or even just a textbook chapter for some new certification,
Right,
right?
exactly. And you read every word, you highlight the bits that feel important, you're nodding along thinking, yeah, I get this.
Hmm.
And then you close the book or the document and poof, it's like it just vanished.
Oh, yeah. Total fog.
I know you just read it, but if someone asked you to explain the main ideas, blank, it's so frustrating. Makes you feel kind of, well, not so smart.
It really does feel like a personal failing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that feeling, that textbook amnesia, as you called it, it's super common.
Right. And digging into the learning science stuff our listener, Alex, shared, the big takeaway is it's usually not about how smart you are.
No, not at all. What's fascinating, based on Alex's sources, is that this whole problem really highlights a mismatch
A mismatch between what.
between how our brains are actually wired to learn effectively and how we usually try to learn, especially from complex stuff.
Ah, okay. So we treat reading like watching TV, just letting it wash over us.
Pretty much. Passive consumption.
Yeah.
We expect the information to just sort of seep in.
Hmm.
But for real understanding, real retention, your brain needs to be active. It needs to be like the architect building the knowledge, not just a bystander watching the construction.
Gotcha. So Alex's challenge and what we're really tackling in this deep dive is how to handle these dense sources without just rereading them endlessly and getting nowhere.
Exactly. Shifting from passive watching to active strategic engagement.
And based on that research Alex sent, we've boiled it down to 3 key phases. Think of it like a mission plan.
Ooh, I like that. What's the plan?
Okay, we've got the recon mission, then the active assault, and finally, the cementing ceremony.
Recon assault cementing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to finally beat that textbook amnesia.
That's the goal. So let's jump into phase 1, the recon mission. This is all about prepping your brain before you read the first sentence properly.
Okay, recon mission. Why start there?
Well, think about it like this. Imagine you're going on a big hike in some wild, unfamiliar jungle.
Okay.
Would you just parachuting blind, no map, no idea of the terrain, just hoping you stumble onto the right path?
Definitely not. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. You want a map, right? Know the landmark.
Precisely. And reading a dense chapter without prepping is kind of like that jungle jump. Your brain has no context, no map. It doesn't know what's important or where things are heading.
That makes sense. So the recon mission is like getting the map before you enter the jungle. It's based on stuff like SQ3R, but simplified.
Exactly. Stripped down for maximum impact, minimal time. And seriously, this takes, what, 5 minutes? Maybe less?
5 minutes tops. And it works for pretty much anything. Reports, chapters, articles.
So how do you actually do this recon?
Okay, first step. Just scan the whole thing. Don't try to read deeply yet. You're just looking for the big landmarks,
Landmarks like...
headings,
Yeah.
subheadings, anything in bold or italics. Those usually scream pay attention.
Right. The signposts.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then read the intro paragraph, and this is key, jump to the end and read the conclusion or the summary first.
Read the end first.
Yeah, gives you the destination. Also, glance at any pictures, graphs, charts. Visuals often pack in a lot of info quickly. And final recon step, if there are review questions at the end, read those before you read the chapter.
Okay, so headings, intro, conclusion, visuals, review, questions. It's like getting the trailer and the spoiler ending all at once.
Kind of. But why does this 5-minute scan work so well? What's happening in the brain?
Well, according to the cognitive science, you're building a mental scaffold.
A scaffold, like for construction.
Exactly. Imagine your brain's the building site. If you just dump a truckload of bricks, that's the information with no structure. It's just a messy pile.
Right, chaos.
But if you first put up the basic frame, the skeleton, that's the scaffold. It shows where the main walls and rooms will go.
So the headings and summary provide that frame.
Yes. Then, when you actually start reading the details, the individual bricks, your brain goes, okay, this brick belongs over here on the second floor. It knows where to put the information because the structure is already there.
It creates hooks for the information to hang on, primes the brain, gives it a reason to look for certain things.
And speaking of looking for things, that brings us to the second part of the recon mission, the question part. This is where it gets really active.
Okay, how so?
After you've done that quick scan, you take those headings and subheadings you noticed, and you deliberately turn them into questions in your head.
Okay. So if the heading is like, the impact of AI on marketing.
And instead of just passively reading that, your brain actively asks, okay, so what is the impact of AI on marketing? Or how does AI affect marketing?
Got it. You're setting yourself a task.
Exactly. It's a simple switch, but it fundamentally changes how you read. You stop being just a passive receiver.
And you become more like a detective.
Yes, an active detective hunting for clues, looking for the answers to your questions. You're reading with a purpose now.
That selective attention thing. Your brain filters better when it knows what it's searching for. It's way more focused, like going into a library knowing which book you need, not just wandering the aisles.
Brilliant. Okay, so recon mission complete. We've got our map, we've got our questions. Now it's time for phase 2, the active assault. Time to actually engage with the text.
Right. And the first target in this assault. Maybe something we need to stop doing.
Oh, definitely. Let's talk about highlighting, or rather, over-highlighting. You know what I mean? The page is just glowing neon yellow.
Ha ha ha, yes, the highlighter frenzy.
If your whole page looks like a radioactive spill, let me break it to you gently. You haven't actually highlighted anything important. It's such a common trap.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because it feels productive, doesn't it? Your hand is moving, you're marking the text.
Feels like you're doing work.
But often, it's just an illusion of learning. Your brain might not be processing it deeply enough for it to stick. It's too passive. Research on the testing effect shows that learning needs a bit of effort, a little struggle to really cement itself. Highlighting is usually too easy.
So ditch the highlighter explosion. What's a better move? A real active assault move?
Okay, here's the first one. It's simple but powerful. Read a paragraph or maybe a short section, then stop. Pause.
Okay, pause. Then what?
Then, in the margin, or on a sticky note, force yourself to write one single sentence that summarizes what you just read.
One sentence.
One sentence. Or maybe phrase it as a question that the paragraph answered. So if it explained, say, supply and demand.
You might write, price set by supply demand, or maybe, how is price determined?
Exactly. That act forces your brain to do something with the information. It has to process it, condense it, put it in your own words, basically.
You can't summarize if you haven't understood it right.
Precisely. It's like a tiny little comprehension check after every chunk. You get immediate feedback, did I get that or not? It pushes the info deeper than just scanning.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Active summarizing. What else is in the active assault toolkit?
Now for the heavy artillery. A simplified take on something called the Feynman technique.
Ah, Richard Feynman. The physicist guy, right. Famous for explaining super complex stuff really simply.
That's the one. Nobel Prize winner, legendary teacher. And his technique is genius because it perfectly reveals where your understanding is shaky.
So how do we use it when we're reading our report or textbook?
Okay, you read about a key concept, let's say photosynthesis from a biology text.
Okay, photosynthesis. Got it.
Now close the book, seriously, physically close it.
No peeking.
No peeking. Then try to explain photosynthesis out loud, as if you were teaching it to someone who knows nothing about it, like a 12-year-old.
Just talking to myself.
Yep, talk to the room, talk to your cat, whatever. Just articulate it. So you might say, okay, so plants, right, they need food, but they can't, like, eat. So they make their own food using sunlight and water and that gas, carbon dioxide. And it happens in the leaves using chlorophyll. Yeah, chlorophyll. Yeah, that green stuff.
I see the hesitation there,
Exactly. That hesitation, that little stumble where you struggle for the word or the connection, that's pure gold.
Why gold? Feels like failing.
Because it shows you precisely where the gap in your understanding is. The very act of trying to retrieve and explain it, that struggle, is what strengthens the memory. It's the testing effect again. And it raises that key question. If you can't explain it simply.
Do you really understand it?
Bingo. So now you open the book again, but you don't reread the whole thing. You zoom straight into that part. You stumbled on the chlorophyll bit or whatever it was.
Targeted learning. Fix just the weak spot.
Infinitely more efficient than just passively rereading pages and pages, hoping it sinks in this time. You focus your energy exactly where it's most needed. Deepens understanding way faster.
Okay, recon done, active assault done. We've surveyed, questions, summarized, explained. Feels like we should be good now, right?
Almost. But there's one more crucial step. Phase 3. The cementing ceremony.
Cementing ceremony sounds permanent.
That's the idea. Because even after all that active work, there's this thing called the forgetting curve.
Ah, yes. The depressing reality that our brains like to ditch information.
They're efficient. If you don't signal that something is important, that you need to keep it, the brain assumes it was temporary and lets it fade to make space. This phase is how we tell the brain, nope, keep this one, it's important.
We need to actively interrupt the forgetting process. How do we do that?
Two main techniques here, both backed by solid science: active recall and spaced repetition.
Okay, break down active recall first.
Right. After you finish the whole chapter, the whole report, whatever it is,
Yeah.
close the book again, get a completely blank sheet of paper,
Blank page, okay.
and then just write down everything you can possibly remember about what you just read. Everything.
Like a brain dump.
Total brain dump. Don't worry about structure at first. Use bullet points, draw a mind map, sketch diagrams, write sentences, whatever helps get it out of your head and onto the paper. No filtering.
Okay. Got my messy brain dump. Now what?
Now, and only now, you open the book back up and you compare your notes to the actual text.
Finding the gaps again.
Exactly. See what you missed, see what you got slightly wrong, see what wasn't there at all. That act of struggling to pull the information out of your own memory before checking, that's the workout.
It's like lifting weights for your brain, you said earlier.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The effort itself builds the strong connections, the neural pathways. Studies show this kind of recall practice can boost long-term retention by like up to 50% compared to just passively rereading. It's huge.
50%. Okay, active recall is powerful. What about this second part? Spaced repetition. Sounds like repeating things, but spaced out.
You got it. And the key is you don't need to reread the entire chapter over and over. That's super inefficient.
So what do you review?
You review the summary sheet you created during that active recall brain dump. Or maybe those margin notes you took.
The condensed version.
Right. And the spaced part is critical. The science is really clear on the optimal timing to beat that forgetting curve.
Okay, what's the schedule?
Review your notes the next day. Just a quick look to refresh.
Day 1, check.
Then review them again, maybe 3 days later.
Okay.
Then maybe a week later. Then maybe 2 weeks. The intervals get longer.
So each time you review, you're kind of resetting the clock on forgetting it.
Exactly. You're telling your brain, repeatedly but efficiently, hey, remember this. Still relevant. And the great thing is, you don't have to manage this schedule manually if you don't want to.
Oh. Technology to the rescue?
Yep. There are fantastic flashcard apps. Many are free, like Anki or Quizlet. You put your key concepts or questions in, and they use algorithms based on spaced repetition science. They automatically show you the cards you're about to forget, right when you need the boost.
That's smart. Takes the guesswork out of it.
Totally. It makes long-term retention incredibly efficient. You're not wasting time reviewing stuff you already know well. You're focusing the effort where it counts, turning fleeting facts into knowledge that really sticks.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. What does this mean for our listener, Alex, and anyone else wrestling with dense material?
It means there's a clear path away from frustrating rereading and that feeling of textbook amnesia.
Right. Let's recap the 3 phases quickly. First, the recon mission.
Always survey first.
Yeah.
Build that mental map. Turn headings into questions before you dive deep. Prime the brain.
Second, the active assault.
Read actively. Ditch the useless highlighting. Summarize sections in your own words, even just a sentence. And use that Feynman technique. Explain it out loud to find your weak spots.
And third, the cementing ceremony.
Lock it in. Use active recall brain dump onto a blank page, then check. And reinforce with spaced repetition, reviewing your notes over increasing intervals, maybe using an app.
It's not a magic trick, is it? It takes work.
No magic. It's a method.
Yeah.
It definitely takes more conscious effort up front than just passively reading.
Right.
But it's smart effort. It saves so much time and frustration in the long run compared to reading something 5 times and still not getting it.
The payoff is huge. You actually stop just reading and start properly learning, remembering, and being able to use the information.
You move from just recognizing info on the page to being able to recall and apply it. That's the goal.
So the message is, next time you face that textbook, that report, that manual, don't just passively consume it. Attack it. Engage it. Really own it.
Absolutely. And maybe one final thought to leave people with.
Go for it.
These strategies, this whole approach, it's not just for textbooks or work stuff. Think about it. Anything new you want to really learn and master.
Like a new skill for a hobby or understanding a complex world issue.
Exactly. Or even just perfecting a new recipe. How could applying these ideas of active engagement, questioning, explaining, recalling, and spacing out your practice, how could that change how effectively you learn anything in your life?
That's powerful. It's a toolkit for lifelong learning, really.
It truly is. It's about making your learning intentional and effective, whatever the subject might be.